Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/HobbyBoxBurns. I am Joe Burns, HobbyBoxBurns, and we are here for more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. This very well might be the end. We will find out here shortly. We are just about to head to the final zone. And get an idea of what is going on there and try to track down the big bad as best as we can. And so I hope everybody is having a good Tuesday evening. Good evening, Baby Smell. Hope you are doing well today. So yeah, it was good taking a couple of days off from the story, digest a little bit. And now we'll see if we can get through to the end. Or at least, like, the final boss. I know there's, like, some epilogue stuff after that. I don't know if we'll get to that tonight or not. But we'll see what happens. But first, before we dive too deep, I got teleported into Charlian. And I found this. The box is locked tight. There's just a locked box sitting here. Sparkling here. Should you choose to undertake this quest, know that guidance from the journal, duty list, and map will be limited. You'll need to read the text carefully and decipher the clues to determine your course of action. Secret in the box. The mysterious maiden regards you with interest. Interesting. Alright, so that's something that we'll maybe mess around with at some point. It's going to be there. It's just, you know, shiny, sparkly thing kind of caught my attention, so... But yeah, otherwise, double check that, see if I need to get anything mended. I don't think so. Don't think so. Otherwise, yeah, the only thing I've been doing off stream was like slowly working on this stuff. So I did get the Sylphs I got the Sylphs Beast Tribes finished. Been leveling like my Paladin along with doing all the Beast Tribe dailies. And so Kobolds will be next. Pretty soon we'll have all the ARR Beast Tribes wrapped up and completed. Which is a nice little thing, just pretty... For the most part, the quests aren't too bad. Oh, maybe I don't... She's in the hall. Oh, okay. Behind the massive people. I was like, everybody left me. Everybody left me. So, Baby Smell, I'm guessing you are completely done then with everything? Have you been playing some more, or are you taking a little bit of a break? There she is. There wasn't even that many people here. Been leveling Reaper. Oh, how you liking it? What level are you at now with it? And how are you leveling it? Are you going through like Boja Zadnor and then doing roulettes? You're back. I take it you received your gift from Tataru. I did. It was a surprise long in the making, with many, many long hours of fretting to get everything just right. I'm glad to see it realized, and with great success. If you're looking for the others, though, they've already taken their leave. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Urianger have gone to the last stand for a bite to eat. Alice and Graha, meanwhile, thought their time would be better spent poring over books at Numenon. As for Elfino and Estinian, well, they've elected to pay a visit to the Levueur estate, though Estinian seemed somewhat reluctant to go. I'm sure they would all be glad for your company if you mind to seek them out. Should you be feeling peckish that you're just heading to the last stand before Y'shtola and the others finish eating, but above all else, it would be foolish to run headlong into battle, a fatigued mess, so do remember to get a good night's sleep. I have a few matters to attend to myself before you and the others depart for Ultima Thule, but rest assured, Tataru and I will keep everything in order while you're all away. You're level 81, been doing roulettes, dungeons, and fates? Okay. So no Boja at all with it, huh? I guess, doesn't make sense to go through Boja if you don't have a relic that you're working on, maybe. Oh, speaking of which, I bet you my journal expired. Sure did. That's alright. I only had one thing in it this time, so I hadn't put too much effort into it this time. I like how this quest is friends gathered, but they're all separated. Don't know if people are doing Boja, to be honest. Just find Boja extremely boring, but you hear that it's a good way to level up. I know that's how a lot of the streamers that were planning on, or that's how some of the streamers that were planning on leveling were going through Boja with, like, Sage and Reaper right at launch. Try as she might, Tataru had no chance of standing between you and a hearty meal. Don't worry, we saved some for you. Hast thou perchance had opportunity to partake of the rainbow pudding? Owing to its striking flavor and somewhat garish appearance, it is quite popular. Indeed so popular that the last stand stock hath been entirely exhausted. I should hope at the very least Puddingway did sup upon this most delectable of desserts. Hey, Thancred. Callista, come to make our trio a quartet, have you? Please have a seat and we'll see about getting you a drink.
Your business with Tataru was finished.
Sure is. I'm not wearing that gear right now.
My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Be poor?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
It's snowing. Lovely.
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
Which her? Heidelin, Nymphilia, Reen, or all the above. You've nothing left to prove, not to Reen nor Nymphilia. We'll get through this together. Just make sure you bring enough ammunition. We'll get through this together. I like that.
Gods, it feels like only yesterday that we went on that mission to Dryboat. We've both changed much since then, have we not?
I mean, you lost eyesight and gained it back. Or at least got an eye patch and lost it.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies.
What was it between the pizza slice and the cake? It was either a burrito or it was like a gyro. Or gyro as it's spelled. It was one of those two things. Like a pita.
In uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all,
retirement,
there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much will change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to affect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, I must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear.
I must think on that.
What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds. 'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise.
Huh. She intends on trying to keep her promise to Runar, huh?
Unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Well, I mean, the level cap will be raised to 100, and I'll have to go for that, you know. It's pronounced the same as Euro. I could be. I always see it, and I don't remember. I've heard it pronounced like a zillion ways. I'll do some extreme trials, ultimates maybe. Try to do some of like the big raids, big boy raids.
My apologies for the wait.
You'd best apologize.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
Oh, I don't get to choose one? You should have just settled down. Don't want you to end up like Master Matoya as a crazy frog lady with no eggs. Well, that's why she wants to settle down with Runar, you know? Chug, chug, chug. So I just realized that's the bottom of the jug. So like really it's like a scary, that's like a sad story. Like the bottom of the jug broke and the water keeps falling out. Hey Martha, how's it going? Yeah, we are gesticulating. That means we are speaking and having a good time. I say, Callista, whence came this simulacrum that standeth beside thee? Late night freelance watching the older videos. Cool, cool. Hope everything's going well. I see falsely. But Y'shtola and Thancred but moments ago employed the self-same doubling magic. Alright then, keep thy secrets. Drunk Urianger, that's fun. You can always count on your friends to help you maintain perspective. A pity mine take a perverse pleasure in it. I'd like to think I give as good as I get, though I'd fare better with the occasional assist from our consummate nodder. Not great, not terrible. That's good. But it's all in good fun, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Leaving so soon? I suppose it's for the best. If you'd rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with Urianger, I dare say the others would welcome your company as well. If you can find them, that is. I unplugged my headphones again. There we go. Now we're good. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. Alright. So then it's Alice and Elfino. I'm doing alright, can't complain. Work so far has not been too bad. Whoa! Look at this guy just chilling. No, I am not neglecting my duties. Honestly, am I not allowed even a moment to myself? A genius needs time to reflect on his thoughts, you know. The Ark truly is a marvel, and I count myself fortunate having had the opportunity to help build it. A pity I did not come here sooner. Oh, the things I could have done with the fruits of their research. Not that that is your business, any of your business, mind you. Though I suppose I could have found a way to apply that knowledge to further improvements to the Ark as well. You're in Garlemald story? But it looks like I'm far away. Yes, I am level 89 in Charlian. Leading up to heading to the final zone, which will then lead us to the end. Oh yes, there is still more story for you. Most definitely. So what's been... Just went through the Xenos dinner and then duty, it was awesome? Yes. That bit was pretty crazy. I lost... I got a little frustrated during that duty because I got myself turned around and got completely lost. And thought I was going to fail it, but... yeah.
Callista, we heard you've been busy of late. I hope you managed to find a moment's respite before duty comes calling again. Coulternay and I were just discussing what more we can do to help. If anything should come to mind, please don't hesitate to ask. Tataru, Hori, and I continue to do what we can to keep our brothers and sisters in arms abreast of emergencies as they unfold. They are ready to take action at a moment's notice, but I pray we have no need to call them to the fray.
Check back later. It's older videos for you now. Yep, sounds good. Hopefully after tonight I wrap everything up. Helps you to work. Yeah, anything that is sad. Well, if it helps you keep your focus, there's nothing wrong with that. And if I can help out with that, that's always a good thing too. Oh, that the story finishes. Oh, yes, yes. Yes and no. I mean, there's going to be more stories to tell in this universe, so... So there is that also. Let's see. We'll head this way first. It doesn't seem like there's going to be anybody else in common areas that we can bump. Like a good book. Just before it ends, you feel sad. Yes. Well, and that's kind of like having the last couple days just taking a little bit of a break. Let me digest things too a little bit. Which was nice. Ruminate on it. Put it off just a little bit to sort of see where the conclusion's going to be going. Yeah, well, I mean, this isn't it for this game, that's for sure. I mean, 6.1 is going to start a whole new arc, and so we'll get to see a whole lot more stuff. Actually, the snow's melted quite a bit. Can't really see it because it's dark out now. But it's down quite a bit. .006. Journey's End. Occupying the eastern side of Old Charlian, the residential district takes its name from the tale of the city's original settlers. History tells that it is upon this hill, alongside a colony of Orcs, where the refugees of the Great Flood chose to build their new homes. It's dark. What time is it? It is 6:33 here. So it has been dark for a good hour at least. The sun goes down here, especially now that it's getting closest to the shortest day. It's 1:30 a.m. there, yeah. Now that it's getting to the shortest day, like, the sun's usually down by like 4:30. I get up early, yes. I mean, I would say 50% of the time I'm not in bed yet by 1:30. Or not asleep yet by 1:30, I guess would be what it is. I probably need to do better at that, but... Let's see, I was just going to look here and see... Usually... Yeah, sunset 4:33 tomorrow. Whoa, Astidian without his armor, huh?
What? Surely this isn't the first time you've seen me without my armor.
Actually, I think it is. Alright, sounds good. Thanks, Martha. Have a good one. Good luck on being productive.
Oh. What brings you here?
Checking in.
Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil.
Ha! I'm not concerned about that.
All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? There are beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... it was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family. Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me.
Is he talking to
have returned
Estinian?
here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
Huh. I suppose I ought to thank you both as well.
Well, we needn't make it a competition. You know, this must be what Hydaelyn meant when she spoke about depending on one another. However treacherous the road before us, together we will prevail.
Yeah, when he started saying some of the things from the launch trailer, like that he says at the end of the launch trailer, I did wonder if that some of that was directed at Estinian. And I was right. A few of our comrades decided to remain a while in Sharlayan after making their deliveries. Did you happen to pass any on your way here? I did find Nero, and Hoary Boulder, and Coltonate.
All that remains is to return to the annex and give my armor one last polish. I expect Elfino has maintenance to carry out on those floating things of his too.
That was a nice moment. Alright, well let's see if we can track down anybody else in town here. On our way over to check on Alice and Grahatia. Saving the best for last, as the saying goes. Woo! So I was curious about this. Okay, so you have to be level 89 in order to have it, okay. Because it said it would level sync it down, but that's just so that you could get it at level 89, since that's when it made sense for you to get it. But it's actually your level 90 gear, okay. Oh shit. I was there, then I just got too jumpy.
The Rostra. This building houses the assembly hall where the Forum debates Sharlayan national policy. Once a simple outdoor plaza, the Rostra would ring with heated discussion through rain, wind, and worse. Following a death by lightning strike, however, plans were drawn up for the imposing stone structure, which now crowns Archon's design.
That's a nice little tidbit. I was gonna say, it doesn't look like there's anybody chilling in the shop area, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, because I think if that's like the other ones that were in the towns, you have to get to a certain point in progression before you can do that. with the fates. Do. No, we don't need to travel to Thavnair. Do not need to travel to Thavnair. We need to head west. To Numenor. Or it looks like just outside of it. Giorgio. Beavis. Beavis. Puddingway, what are you doing here? Ah, Callista, I have come to this studium in order to study the ways of pudding. Alas, my creations don't jiggle as they should just yet, but I persevere. Funny. Alright. Graha and Alice, well, they were reading. They fell asleep. That's funny. You try speaking with Alice, but she is fast asleep. Pick up a book and drop it like the teachers would do back in the day. If someone fell asleep in class.
Oh.
Hi.
Knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love. You deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer, so much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
feels familiar. Well, 'tis good to be... Wait. What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word.
I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I guess I wouldn't think so, but
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
just enjoying a little peace and quiet. Yeah, I don't think it's that embarrassing, but I don't know. Alice gets worked up about the craziest things, so... Gods, I didn't realize I was so tired. One moment I was resting my eyes, and the next... I should go and get some air. Maybe a quick bout of training. But not sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's enough reading for one day. As we don't know how long we'll be away, I'd best return these books before we depart. And eat. I'm absolutely famished. What about you? I ate with the others. I see. Perhaps I'll stop at the last stand on my way back. If nothing else, these two seem to be in good spirits. Still, I'll see them back to the annex for some proper rest, even if I have to drag them by the ears. Wah! Ojika Sunjika. Welcome back, Callista. Return to catch a final few winks before embarking on your mission, I presume. You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy the sweetest dreams on this final night before the big day. And we are... what, probably 4/5 of the way to level 90 from level 89. That night at the Royal Menagerie in Alamigo. This is going to be Xenos again? Remembering his last big battle. Yep. Yeah.
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
Is he gonna stow away somehow? Come like, and thus it dawns. The day of reckoning. That's not foreboding at all. In battle gear and ready.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments, from the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all.
The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel.
I'm the captain now.
They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon.
Meteon.
As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
Nope, sorry. Let's just let the world end. Get everybody to the moon.
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmazane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Well, Hydaelyn said we would, so...
Let us be off then.
We have to.
Wait! Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
Yeah. You too, Tataru makes it sound like I wasn't listening. That's like when you're frantically, someone says, hope you have a nice meal, like a server says, hope you have a nice meal, and you say, you too, and you're just like, I'm an idiot. Like, you're not eating. Like, that would be saying, you too, Tataru. You have a safe travel, even though you're staying right here. I was gonna say, I don't think I have to talk to him anymore. I have to talk to him probably to get the next quest. Yeah, there we go. Unto the heavens. Ojika Sunjika is ready to send you off with a smile. I suppose this is where we part ways, for now at least. Would that I had sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Garuf Baldessian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life. Things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture unto the sea of stars. The others are already off to Thomazane. Best not to keep them waiting, eh? Oh, so we can't even go back to our room now. We are committed. Alright, so now we gotta go to Thomazane. Which means I gotta remember how to get there. Poria is gonna be the closest. It's like that one Zelda game, The Final Day, 24 Hours Remain. Yeah, which one is that? Is that, not... Yeah, Mahora's Mask, right? Was the one with the time cycle? Not that I've played it. Ah, Master Callista, I've been made aware of your coming. Please use the lift here. Running into battle! And jumping. I'm a Dragoon. I should jump into battle. Ah! Everilda. Oh yes, I know you. Your reputation and the rumor mill precedes you. At any rate, how might I help you? What do you do here? I'm a researcher, and have long since been involved in the Ark's construction. I confess I am conflicted about the culmination of all of our efforts. While I am proud of what we have accomplished, it also means that the final days are close at hand. The facility in which you now stand could be considered the very heart of Labyrinthos. The construction of the ethereal observation facility, the Aisha Scope, allowed us direct contact with Hydaelyn, granting us eyes to see the truth. It is that event which inspired us to name this location Thaumazein. When plans for the Ark were set in motion, a dockyard was erected here to facilitate its development. Such information, of course, was kept secret, privy only to those with direct knowledge of the project. Oh, Varshan's here to see us off. Everybody's here to see us off, it looks like. Man is said to fear what he does not know, yet you would venture unto the greatest of unknowns. I say to you, daughter of man, that you need not fear. So long as man shares a bond with dragonkind, so too does he share our kinship with the heavens, and our ancient home amidst the stars infinite. I pray you go forth, and prove this bond of ours, tempered and tested, shall endure unbroken for 1,000,000 years. Hey, Erinville. First the Great Exodus, and now this. It seems there's no end to our work. In truth, more than a few gleaners were distressed to learn that their earlier efforts were for nothing. It was no easy task convincing them that the new plan was for the best, I can tell you that. I can't tell you every man believes this is the wisest course, but I can say that all will be forgiven if you deliver us from the coming doom. And if you don't, well, at least you won't get the earful. I certainly will. True, we won't have to deal with the consequences. It's troubling enough that brute Sickard left without warning, leaving me to carry all those cumbersome containers. But that he failed to be present to send you off is absurd. What could possibly be more deserving of his attention at a time like this? It is no easy thing to say, leave the star to us, but we must and we will. As proud members of the Scions, we have a duty to uphold, and we needn't do so alone. Those dark days when we were driven from the Rising Stones and hunted as traitors are a thing of the past. We have allies in abundance now, which is to say you needn't worry about us. Go forth in the knowledge that the Scions will labor without rest in your absence. Though our fellow Scions couldn't be here, they wanted me to tell you that, no matter what calamity may befall us, they will never give up, and neither should you. No matter how far you may go, we will be with you in spirit. No matter how dark it may seem, your light will shine and endure. Mistress Cryle tells me your investigation into my theories on Akasha and its relation to the final days has made clear the source of our woes. I am elated to know my work was of some benefit, but I could not have shared it had you not rescued me from the tower that day. I yet owe you a great debt, one I may never fully repay, but I shall try nonetheless. Not only through my research, but through my desire to see you succeed, which I believe may influence the Akasha in our favor, small though the effect may be. Yes, so long as we have hope, there is a chance we may influence the outcome of this calamity. Lovita! Shells and cheese? We were quite fortunate the Loporet's hyperhopper was based on principles similar to those of etherology. Integrating it with the Ark's existing systems might well have been impossible otherwise. We may have Charlian's wealth of knowledge at our disposal, but theirs is technology far beyond anything we have ever studied. You are familiar with teleportation magics, yes? The momentary conversion of the body into ether, that it may travel via the lifestream from one physical point to another. Their hyperhopper enables transport through a similar method, but not one involving the lifestream. Rather, it utilizes highly condensed ether to create an ethereal current of its own. This current is exponentially faster and more powerful than the naturally occurring ones to which we were accustomed. Not so much, in fact, that ethereal conversion of the physical form is not a prerequisite for travel. If you are concerned about the side effects such as ethereal sickness, you needn't be. You should emerge at your destination hale and whole in theory. At the very least, I can assure you it is safer than the experimental etherites you used to reach Razatan. Well, that's good to know. I wasn't worried about it till you told me not to be worried about it. Moonbreeder has been on my mind more often of late. How different her life might have been if not for our research into teleportation magics. Perhaps she would never have gained an interest in ethereological studies. But to abandon our work out of misplaced guilt for who she could have become,
could have been would be a disservice to the memory of who she was. Nay, it was because of her that we found the resolve to carry on. And now we stand at the edge of a new frontier, with a ship ready to bear you unto the distant stars and beyond. This ark is as much her accomplishment as it is ours. I regret nothing.
Alright, now to the people that are traveling. So this is the ship that will bear us unto Ultima Thule.
That even Wilfsum and Blovida should be in attendance is most unexpected, but I am none the less heartened by their presence. For so many to see us off like this seems wholly unnecessary. Still, I'll not begrudge them for wishing us well.
This is the pinnacle of etherochemistry, a synthesis of modern innovation and the ancient wisdom of Arlag. The Ark's engine appears to be capable of processing condensed ether in quantities I never thought possible.
I wasn't expecting quite so many people to be seeing us off.
I'll send word to the Alliance leaders the very moment the ship takes off. Obviously, they couldn't be here, but I'm sure they'll be cheering for you every step of the way.
Oh no! I know!
Oh well. We missed 3 of them. Kryl, Elfino, and Alice. Of all of them, Emmeline is there.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder.
Are they going to come with? Please let them come with.
But we did it. We finished the ship.
Yeah.
Safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a Garland through and through.
I mean, you guys didn't do that much to say it's your ship. I mean, Charlian did like 90% of it.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Well, the work was hard, but we've learned a lot from it. After all, it's not every day you get tasked with building a starfaring vessel. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do.
That's good. I'm glad that'll cover it.
In a colorful recounting of your journey on your return.
I'm glad that'll cover it.
So, have you thought of a name?
Well, it already had a name, didn't it?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
What is he going to call it?
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisoix not fought to protect this world, and in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home. I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
That makes sense.
Sorry for the wait. Got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
Ha ha ha!
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare. Not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves.
So, like, each of the people are going to temper themselves?
Summoning. Or should I say, its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
Alright, thankfully I was
As
wrong.
you may have witnessed at Bestways Burrow, the Loperids are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly, requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Precisely.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loperit's magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed!
Interesting.
While Heidelin gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish, so there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Interesting.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
May we have a moment?
We really gotta get going. Sorry. No.
In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
So it's a way for us to teleport ourselves.
You as well.
And everyone else all the way back, all back to the Ragnarok? Interesting.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
Yeah! This is gonna end up being like the Kobayashi Maru. Quite the turnout, wouldn't you say? Then again, who wouldn't want to be present for a once-in-a-lifetime event? Oh, okay, so now we can find out what they're gonna say. Mother, father, grandfather, we will save this star and return home, I promise. The Ragnarok, and thus does grandfather's legacy live on. We mustn't waste any more time. Let us board and set out for Ultima Thule. Ameliance will not be joining us, I'm afraid. She could not bear to watch our children embark on so perilous a mission. Make no mistake, I feel the same. I cannot tell you how many times I had to step away from my duties, so distracted by thoughts of all the ways it could go wrong. Even now a part of me wants to drag them away and forbid. Well, not that they would listen. So I will see them off with pride in my heart and a prayer on my lips. For my children, and for this star they love so dearly, you must prevail. Oh, we gotta talk to this person to get on, okay. Eggleaf. If you would come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Upon boarding the Ragnarok, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Let's board.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
There's no chairs. Are we just supposed to stand here?
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burned-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
Have Alphino do the honors. I think that's fitting.
Me? But I...
No need to be coy, brother. Do it, and do it well.
If you all insist.
Onward unto the distant stars and beyond. Ragnarok, engage.
Engage! Engage!
Oh, that's hilarious. That was awesome. Kinda looks like a Star Destroyer. We gonna be the bad guys now? So that's like the one spot in the 1.0 trailer. That's pretty cool. Of course! Kicking Booglebog. And old Charlene's is in ruins now, yep.
Ah! That I must carry landwalkers into the sky! I cannot imagine a greater indignity!
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
Haha.
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
peace? Good. Sleeping Way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch.
All right. Let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used Dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any.
Will have to be something.
But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Heidelin believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
I was gonna say, we don't have anything to hold on to, or touch, or sit in, strap ourselves in.
What is this?
Hey, Lily, how's it going?
Oh, interfering with the equipment.
Greetings.
There she is.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Meteon.
So this is Meteon.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. Stolen away by events beyond your control.
Very uplifting outlook
There
on
is no
things.
logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
So she's like an evil librarian incarnate. Like, I just want silence to permeate through all, basically.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now. You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life cannot thrive.
That cut.
By the Fury. Thancred?
Meteon has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look.
Thancred just should hit the button and he'll come back to the ship.
Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
Those chairs really should be bolted in. Instead of just laying around. And they are gamer chairs too, aren't they? The Loporits are sponsored. Attack of the Killer Bunnies. The bunnies are helpful. It's
so
the,
it was
it's
that the
Earwing
brave
gal
wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End.
Earwing Gal is the scary one. Killer bunnies and
Following their
cuts up to
path
Venturia
walked
time.
and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
Is this a dead star?
That music.
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
So you're in the middle of finals week, scary as heck, because algorithms will determine whether you graduate on Sunday. Well, algorithms determine pretty much everything in our life now, so it might as well have to do with your grades, too. But I think you got this. You got this, Lily. But thanks for stopping by. I saw that you you lurk often but not talking. That's perfectly fine. It's just, it's good to hang out again. And hey, Jim, how you doing? Advertising boppies as gamer butt cushions now. I don't know what half of that sentence means, Jim. The course algorithms. No, and I figured that. Final semester at university has been hectic. You're in finals week. Whether you pass algorithms will determine whether you graduate in a few days. Boppies are pillows for feeding babies. Oh, okay. And so they're saying that you should use those as gamer butt cushions, huh? Probably be more active once the semester is over, assuming you pass. Have a job lined up for next year. Well, that's good that you have a job lined up. And I bet you'll be able to take it down. Jim's an expert at algorithms, so he can help you out. Actually, I don't know that. But I just wanted to say that. He does computer stuff, so he should be an expert at algorithms. You're okay at them.
If Metean should strike again with such overwhelming force, I honestly don't know how we are to oppose her. We were clearly no match for Metean, yet we survived unscathed, but how? It is as Livingway said, I can breathe well enough, but something about this place feels wrong. It's so dark, I can barely see anything. Didst thou witness what became of Thancred? So quickly was I overcome by Metean's malevolence that I saw naught of their altercation. There is a dizzying, disorienting feeling about this place, as if I could lose my footing at any moment. We must be careful.
If you know dynamic programming and MP complete lists, you could use all the tutoring you can get. Haha, Jim. Oh fuck, MP complete. I can't guarantee it will be of help in these strange surrounds, but I've readied a provisions node in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to Ragnarok at once. Oh, look at that. We're going to get ourselves some purple dyes. A strange new world. Try as he might, Elfino can find no sign of Thancred.
We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely, I suspect, given the torpid, stale quality of the air. But never mind that. We must find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship.
It seems as good a direction as any. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. It's hard to find good resources on the internet on it, too. Oh, I can't jump on the ship. Ooh, look at that beast. Oh, that's. I was gonna say, yeah. Let's not attack the. Let's not attack the level 90. What was that? A rank. Had 2 major projects that got submitted yesterday. One highly technical project on accessibility to public transit, 29 pages long. Oh, wow. Other for a Gen Ed course, which was a case study arguing that Zuko is a hero's journey. The latter was in video form, got 100 on it. Well, that's good. So do you have a final in the algorithms class, or is it a project that you have to do for your final? Yeah, we're going to hide the log window. Not that you guys can see it anyway, but I don't want that to be distracting. And I don't want, now that we're so close here, lots of talkative people in this zone for some reason, so... Oh wow, that's not a... I thought that was going to be a beast we'd have to fight, but it's just like a petrified dragon. It's a final but not cumulative. Also take home, since Prof doesn't think the 2 hours you get is enough. Never had homework on MP completeness. Didn't have enough time, but you still have to... It's still on the final. That's crazy. The vitrified fort. I see no one else in this barren waste, do you? Then why do I feel like we're not alone? Like there's another presence with us, something dark and mournful. Just a bunch of dragons hanging out here. What was this, I wonder? There is a structure here in front of me, yes? A tower of some sort, partially melted? In a strange twist of fate, it seems our perception of this place is not so different as it would be elsewhere. The world as I used to see it. It feels as though I am dreaming while awake. This is more than the faded memory Metian led us to believe.
Yeah, it's like it's covered in some, like, tar substance. And maybe it's melted, like she said, but... so weird.
These remains have long since turned to ash, and yet they retain their form.
So that's like half a dragon.
Ruins. But of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything.
Oh, so the professor said not to worry, but you don't know if it's a you'll pass, don't freak out over it, or from a calm down and work hard, so you'll pass. Gotcha. It's probably one of those types of things where... Because is it something where as long as you're showing your work and how you're getting to a spot, even if you don't get the right answer, but you get parts of it right, or you're along the right line of thinking, you'll get some points for it? The metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely sometime in the distant past. The damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately. Rather, it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle.
Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design of the top suggested is man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive of them. Having said that, I swear I have seen this pattern before.
Well, we gotta go all the way down there now.
Astrakhan Deca Octo.
Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Does give some points, but his tests are hard. To put it in perspective, you got to see on the easiest exam. The exam you got to see on was open note, book, and take home. Got it. Yeah, and what Jim's saying, if you didn't do MP problems without doing homework on that, then you're guessing he does easier problems, hopefully.
I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. A poor decision in hindsight. Besides the light from the ship, all is shrouded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris.
There are ether currents here, though. You suggested giving it to you as extra credit, but no luck. The school you went to, Jim, wasn't exactly top-tier CS program. Feel like some of your senior project would be the equivalent of a freshman project at Stanford.
Were you able to find anything? I mean, a little bit of stuff, but nothing as I feared, and still no trace of Thancred. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which, unfortunately, isn't very far. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with feelings of death and anguish. That's Metian, alright. I felt it too when I was near that thing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We've found only more questions when we are in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's starboard we've yet to explore. Let us try searching there, then. Callista, a word before we join the others. Okay, what's going on, Estinian? Jim, your OS professor did get extra credit if you finished a week early. Amazing how many people didn't get the extra credit and were sweating come finals. Lily, you almost always do the extra credit. Good buffer for your grades come a bad exam. That's true. So I had an econ class. The only points in the class, it was a 90-point class. 3 30-point tests was all you had the entire class. And so you do really badly at one of those tests, you're kind of screwed, right? But the professor gave you extra credit opportunity, and in order to get the extra credit, you had to read an 1,100-page book over the course of the semester, and then answer questions to prove that you had read it. And the book was Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, which is... it's something else. But that extra credit was 50 points. So it was over half of the entire class, over half the points of the entire class if you did that book. And then passed the little verbal quiz to show that you read it. So I did it, and it's like, I made it through the class with flying colors. But it was a crazy process. And this was an econ class where, score economy was not very well handled with that, apparently. But that is quite the book. Let's see. We need to go this way. Back the way we came, as best as we can. Okay. A lesser stellar dragon. So a not so stellar dragon? Is that what we're saying? Should have just answered with excerpts from Das Kapital.
mean, I'm glad I read it. It was an interesting enough book. Really long in the tooth at parts.
You see them too, don't you? The dragons.
I do.
As I thought. Their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgard Sormer, and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on Aetheris?
So I shouldn't have killed the couple I did.
Bah, better to leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder?
Hey! Aetheryte. We're gonna outrun you, lesser stellar dragon. So it's interesting, like this song in this zone is an iteration on the song that plays at the beginning of the launch trailer. Like it has pieces of it in it, but it's very distorted and changed.
My sight may have been restored after a fashion, but I fear what I see cannot be trusted. It's as if Metean herself has etched these images upon my heart. I doubt not that such a feat is within her power, given that she constructed this sanctuary herself. Surely mine eyes deceive me. This cannot be possible. Dragons. 'Tis true they are not of our world, but to find them in a prison of despair. It seems these dragons have yet to succumb completely to the darkness in this place, meaning the others should see them as well.
And they do.
Look there. Are those ghosts, do you think?
Dragons? Here?
Lily, you had a lot of fun with your projects. The technical one brought so many nightmares, but it was hilarious seeing the page count go higher and higher to the point you made the table of contents for it. Well, yeah, once you get to that point, you do need that, right? The Zuka one you didn't put as much effort into, which is hilarious because you still got 100. Even when you slacked a little, you still did a good job. Hey, sometimes it's all about putting the amount of time you need to in the things that you need to put it into, right? If you would have spent more time on that, it would have been wasted. Because you can't get anything higher than 100, right?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
Oh yeah, it must be on your end because it seems like it's fine here. So you might need to do a refresh.
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send. I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteion holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
If it's all about emotion, we have to get to her emotionally, right?
But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
Regal purple. That's a like dark purple there. Your friend died. Here's some dye. I don't think he's dead.
He can't really be gone, can he? Meteion herself said his soul persists, that he is the reason we are still breathing. If so, then maybe... My aim was true. I had her. How are we to defeat an enemy we can't attack? It's hard to believe Thancred was able to overcome Meteion's will, yet here we are. Would that the price for his victory had not been so high. I understand now why the Loperites were surprised to find that this environment could sustain life. There but for Thancred's sacrifice. His will was strong enough to reshape Ultima Thule that we might survive, that I might see again. His sacrifice must not be wasted. Unburdened wings. Despite Meteion's words, Urianger cannot accept his comrade is gone. Soul without body. A form of being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us.
On Buffalo Wild Wings, yes.
Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it and ascertain the nature of this realm, that we might confront and defeat Meteion. Estinian, Callista, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these surrounds. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it.
Very well. We can reconvene here when everyone has finished. Meteion said these dragons are shadow and shade, from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they are not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation, so please be careful. This music sounds like Radiohead's exit music for a film. I mean, it has some familiarity to a few other things I've heard too.
Let us split up and gather what knowledge we may.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that, we're gonna keep the, log hidden forever in the zone.
Thou art unlike the others. This place ill befits thee. Do not tarry over long.
Who are you?
The telling of my tale alters not its course. If thou knowest my brethren once ruled these skies, will our kingdom return? Should I boast that I was first among our hunters? Will the comrades I failed live again? Nay, once I lived, and now I await the coming oblivion. Nothing more.
Pretty sure you can get banned for revealing spoilers in chat. Well, and it's not that people are necessarily saying spoilers. They're saying, like, I don't know, all sorts of random things.
This is not our home. To our home did come the metal demons, who of life and joy scoured it clean. These are mere bones, and among them do we rest our wings forevermore. Leave us now to our mourning, traveler. Thou wilt find no solace here. A visitor, not of this star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world, thy breath extinguish life's feeble flame? Oh, how we would adore thee, alas! With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march into oblivion.
So these...
If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence.
Okay. So they're not doing well. Gotta continue with the lurk. Might fall asleep or do flashcards. Sounds good, Lily. Good luck with everything. I hope it all turns out well. Make sure you do get some rest, though. It's important to keep your brain at full functioning.
Thou wouldst bid me speak. Folly. I observe the lesson of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar. Only watch, and wait, and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentation. Knoll, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go, if that be thy will. I shall remain.
Yep, good night, Lily. So this isn't a happy place. I think we found that out. Kom Noshk. Beyond that distant veil, paradise lost. So glorious, so beautiful. We were a proud and noble race, strength embodied. We knew only love before they came. Metal monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, nor conviction did they have to guide them. A crushing defeat. Never had we known such shame. Stilled now are the winds, though none could fill these wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. Search for the source of the dragon's woes in Am Knoll. Oh, up there, okay. Oh, a fate. Is there actually someone in there? There's a few people in there, maybe. Couple? Oh, get out of all those AoEs. There's another patch over there now. Oh, it's... Wow. They melted away fast. Twist of Fate. Experience earned on Fates is dramatically increased. Oh, okay. Interesting. Stellar Shelled Dragon, huh? Oh, was somebody dead on the ground? No, it looks like someone else got him up. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's like eggs.
They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatchling ground, or was. I've seen similar on Aetheris. Midgard Somer's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Vritra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here.
Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. Same thing or something different with this one? A murky liquid has pooled inside this eggshell. The noxious fetor is indicative of contamination. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside and see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embryonic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the egg to its resting place. What of the ones that aren't shattered, though? This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonette within succeeded in hatching.
What's this? I thought all the eggs had been ruined. If the dragonette was indeed hatched, there is no sign of it here, or its sire for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops and I'll search the plains.
So I suppose, I'm going to take a very quick break. And, so yeah, I'll be back in a moment or two. I won't get attacked here, so this is a good spot to be. Alright, let's get back at it. We have a lot of this zone to get through yet, huh? Stellar Wyvern. Just walk a little bit over here. Unlock that chunk of map. Lord. Bereaved dragon.
The boisterous howling hath been quieted. By thy hand, I presume. Everything all right? I thought I heard a dragon or something resembling one.
This one talked.
Ah, I see what's happened here. Was that your child?
Perhaps.
Some eggs within Omnol are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast thou hast slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure. A testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor we gave answer. 'Twas a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild. A futile effort. In purest soil replete with ether did we once cultivate our nesting grounds. But our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. I think they're too far gone. Alright, well, the next quest will take us to 90 then. If not before that, we are less than 200,000 experience away. A test of will. The bereaved dragon has fallen silent, leaving Estinian to sigh with frustration. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed. A pain I understand, and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Oh, I was going to say, how is this connected to the other areas, but... Alright, so down here... Oh, we even got some side quests we could do if we wanted to. Look at that. I guess we could have teleported back to there, huh?
I guess I completely thought of that. I forgot about that. Aetheryte.
With luck, they'll have learned something to help us devise a plan of action. I chanced to gain audience with several dragons ere we returned, though I expect their tales are much...
Ooh, excuse me, sorry about that.
Though I expect their tales are much the same as those you heard.
Good to see you made it back in one piece. The more I see of this place, the more bewildering it becomes.
Did your exploration prove eventful? Converse with any dragons?
Ooh, sorry about that.
We would hear what the dragons had to share with you. Even if it's no different from what they told Urianger, it would have value.
Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? Meaningful is a good question. We had contact, though.
I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict.
Thank you, Callista, Estinian. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island, to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found.
There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere?
I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity, but it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked for Loporits to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it too risky to attempt flying to another island.
What Metian told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is we've no way forward.
At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Metians, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Metian meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. Ah, that's the purpose of that stat. I need to get my determination higher. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower and despair She concluded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions.
'Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Metian herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most. Potent enough, maybe, to dictate the course for others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me naught against his calcifying heart. But mayhap one of you will fare better.
'Cause we are of the dragon. I get it.
Then I shall guide thee. All End, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water.
Well, what have we to lose? Let's get going.
One moment here.
Alright. What's Estinian got to say here? Okay, nothing. He was just stealing himself. Oh man, you hope it busts out the FF4 Star Wars crawl, one born from a dragon. We gotta go up and around this way, I think. Oh, it's that same fate again. Ah, there we go. All End. Al End. Alland. Hey, Alland.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
Melancholy and the infinite sadness?
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
Some very Ishgardian music playing now.
Waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled and the heavens offer no comfort. There is nothing left for our kind. Our long lives are cursed as we await the end. Still as stone we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin? On another star? And yet, upon thee do I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They're in peace now, though.
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
It mattereth not whither we fly. Ever will a sanguine ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back.
We tire of war. We tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished. Crimson stained. Our misery. Our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
I see. This is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind.
He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
So it's almost like the Eden raids. They're sacrifice, because I honestly don't think they're. I don't think that they're like gone, but their emotion is carrying them out of this lack of emotion, right? Is how I'm seeing what's happening. And now the music has changed. And it has more congruence to it, right? So what's going to happen is slowly but surely each one of them is going to end up doing this, probably. And this music is almost exactly like that from the launch trailer without the lyrics. We gotta go this way, I think. Oh, they just want us to get this sightseeing point. I see. That's nice of them. Ostrakhan Deka Octo. This sector is a recreation of the 18th civilization encountered by Metian and her sisters. Ruined and desolate, the world it represents was once the abode of a proud race of dragons, who were driven to extinction in a titanic struggle against mechanical invaders from the Alphatron star. Wind confluence. Must this always be the price paid for safe passage? If I had known this place would claim Estinian too, No, it's what had to be done. As by the beating of mighty wings doth wind blow, where dragons may ne'er again touch the sky, he and the shade he bore shall soar free. The wind has stayed the fog that covered this island, and the air, it no longer feels quite so stifling. Look there, the wind! This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Alright, let's do it. I'm all for it. Woo! Ostrakhan Tria. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other scions should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alphino, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on for their sake. You like how, Baby Smell, you like how Thancred is barely acknowledged for his sacrifice, and Estinian gets all this mourning and music? Yeah. Strong Lance Arm, number 9. The Dragon Kid, So the Dragon Gauge has been expanded. Oh, okay, here we go. Upon learning the trait Lance Mastery 4, the actions Ride and Thrust and Draconian Fury can be executed to sharpen the first mind's focus. Oh, so that's those two things at the end. Up to a maximum of 2 units. Once their focus is fully sharpened, you can execute Wormwind Thrust. Yeah, and I don't think I have to actually add any of it to my bar. So I think it just takes over for something. Okay. We have to keep going. Even if Estinian isn't here to see it, I'm sure Elfino wouldn't want to disappoint him. No choice have we but to march onward, lest we squander their noble sacrifices. To feign bravery with bold words is a simple matter, but without the strength of will to match, we are powerless against Dynamis. Naught less than unshakable conviction will suffice, which makes me question if I am up to the task. Oh, you of all people are definitely up to the task, Graha. You've shown that before. Though it pains me to say it, we can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrades' passing. No, there will be time enough. There will be time enough after. Roads paved, sacrifice. Elfino has regained his composure and is ready to proceed. As Y'shtola and Alice said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. 'Twould be prudent to learn more of it, then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in this sand. Hey, we're gonna get an ether current here. I suppose it makes sense that there wouldn't be ether currents down there because the wind didn't exist and now it does. If we're headcanoning it, which is probably the reasons why, actually. How much longer will I be streaming for tonight? We'll probably go for a good 2-3 more hours. 120 yalms to the north. Straight north. Other one. Would suck if I had to stop right before the end. I mean, if we're getting to the point where we're going through, like, the end stuff, like, I will keep going. I'm fine with staying up late to get through it if we're that close. Because I know it's going to be kind of right on the edge. And I would like to finish tonight. Because I won't be able to stream until, like, Saturday now. After tonight, so... I am very close. That's what I figured. If you were worried about my vision, you needn't to be. I can still see quite well. Another seemingly barren world. For a mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry, and the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. If not for the light emitted by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monolith. What's Alice looking for? Sand, sand everywhere. Ugh. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, 'twould appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely, so we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Metean claimed the dragons' worlds suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Irian nods in agreement. Hey, my new mount. Since I just got done with the sylphs. That's funny. It's the simple pleasures in life, right? I guess. Oh, I was gonna say he was still coming after us. Southwest. Is it like up on this thing? We better talk to this thing first. So I have a feeling we might have to go upwards anyway. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me, I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Aya, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. Yeah, they're interesting looking. They got a really cool design. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kofkudg. Yes, Kofkudg of the Aya. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive, then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Aya are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I've prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word. It would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans.
In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Aya, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Aya wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Their adorable presence belies their suicidal ideation, yes. There we go. Let's get a little cheer here. We get the snowman going here. Quite possibly the most fun ether current to get to. The design, the graphics of this is really neat. I'm flying, why do I get fall damage? Luminion. So, I'm going to say that whatever ends up coming down the line, they need to do more space zones. Because the music in the space zones, the moon and now here, is really cool. More violet-colored crystals. I cannot place my finger on it, but there is something unsettling about them. The Isle of Dragons was shrouded in the silence of the dead, yet the stillness here doth suggest the Aya are, by and large, merely sleeping. Alright, so I have a feeling this is the one Y'shtola connects to, and then she sacrifices with this group, and then Urianger is probably going to be the next one, which leaves Graha and me and Elfino and Alice left, is where I see this going. They said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. Something tells me we have different definitions of the word abode. I should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet... Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expression indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of the crystalline domiciles to communicate. Even should they elect not to emerge, you need but cast your thoughts to the crystals to communicate with the Ea within. Can't do it to those ones, though. You cast your thoughts towards the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. This place could use some live, laugh, love, and hang in there kitten posters. Yes. You wish to speak? Very well, pray a moment if you would. While we're right next to the Aetheryte, we might as well attune to it. Might as well think about this one, too. Yeah, a little bit of something to try to lighten the mood, right? Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? So it's almost, though, they're almost like Elidibus in that they've maybe somewhat forgotten things. Despite my best efforts, mine overtures have elicited no response from this crystal. I can but assume its resident sleepeth most soundly. Or so I hope. If I heard correctly, the Ea within this crystal says it will emerge from within shortly. Do you suppose they all appear as Kufkurg does? Abode of the Ea. Must have missed Elfino, Alice, and Y'shtola. The strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. That one's not doing too well, it appears. "95 yalms to the northwest." We might as well go get this ether current while we're around here. There's Alice. There's Y'shtola. Ooh. Interesting water. Is it not strange they lack passion to research that which they desire above all else? If we are fortunate, the Ea residing in these crystals will shed light on this contradiction. I've tried reaching out to whatever is inside this crystal, but all I can hear is sporadic moaning. That was like the other one over there for me, too. There it is. There it is.
Oh, there's Alphino. I suppose there is a logic to creatures comprised of spiritual energy utilizing crystals as living spaces, but it is nevertheless surprising to see. I mean, it's no different than, like, their memories and stuff going into the crystals that we had to carry back from the first. Kuf Kud. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? Not really? I see. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not. There are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Flesh abandon... Change? Delta? Change? Kuf Kud languidly awaits his brethren's arrival. So eventually it's just going to be all symbols by the time we get to the end of the quest here. Just like wingdings. Kuf Kud languidly awaits his brethren's arrival. Yeah, what kind of a timetable do these guys follow? Oh, I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ea have awakened. Oh, there they are. May I introduce you to Lalach, Dudik, and Nenidg. Rawr. It has been too long, Kuf Kud. I dare say Sadr 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kuf Kud, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Ah, yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nenigd. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much? Ah, of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. What kind of food are they going to have to serve us, though? That's the problem. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. We have to, like, lick a ether stone or something like that? Just all, like, up along the crystal, like, ah. This is the purest ether we have. To think that I had forgotten what had become of the archives. How much has my essence deteriorated since last I was awake. Pizza rolls filled with ether. Not that I am averse to having my mind fade away in this manner. It isn't so unlike the natural degradation of one's flesh. How delightful. Throughout the universe, but few races have completely shed their flesh as we have. As a result, we seldom receive visitors from other systems. Extreme differences can inhibit meaningful interaction, you see, and none more so than those which affect communication. Most entities, for example, cannot even comprehend our words. You are rare indeed in your ability to do so. You avail yourselves of Dynamis, yes? It is an impressive application, even if it is ultimately pointless like all the rest. How much ether would be adequate for your kind, I wonder? As I recall, there is a fine line between optimal satiation and violent sickness. Yeah, we've been in the violent sickness part. I'm sure those guys will say the same thing after we talk to him. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. We were told to stand wherever we like. This strikes me as less of a meal and more a ritual. I was gonna say stand where you like, but everybody's standing in like one of these circles, which is like it's the ether diagram of the 6 different elements and how they like connect, right? Or it looks similar to it anyway. Judging by the construction of this facility, it would seem the Aya directly draw upon the ether. Ether, they said, but I can't help but feel a bit nervous. Oh, there's a new guy. If they are thus able to replenish their ether, the loss of vital sustenance isn't like to be the cause of their demise. I cannot help but feel a rush of excitement when I see your pliable yet sturdy form. I almost have to resist the urge to open you up and see how it all works. Now, be at ease. I would not devolve to such savagery. I may have cast off my body, but I still possess some semblance of a rational mind. For the moment, at least. So he might tear into me very soon. If it is as I suspect, then this so-called feast... Actually, let's just see it for ourselves. Fear not, we are not like to come to harm. Alright, well, let's get on the exact spot here. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. You brace yourself again, but again nothing seems to happen. Just as I had suspected. As meticulously as one might recreate the Aya's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact. To the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Omerat. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So they're not actual beings anymore, but they're just like the leftover souls? So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? We eat stuff. Wah!
Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not but fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ea yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. No. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered. The truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegia. Like her master, Y'shtola seeketh the truth of creation. How will the truth of the Ea, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ears? To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea. Nay, having eternal life, and hence no sense of haste, would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had, and I struggle to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness.
You may be intimately familiar with the problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Aya never felt the same frustration? 'Tis true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Heidelin told us, all those people who attempted to free their worlds from life's woes met with failure. And the Aya are among them, as their presence here attests. The tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. I love how it's just like handing out experience like it's candy now, and we can't take advantage of it. Where knowledge leads. Something seems to be weighing on Urianger's mind. Ere we join the Aya, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Callista Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. I nodded, I'm pretty sure. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Eligia. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. As long as Urianger explains himself to you, then I shall be satisfied. Do lend him an ear in my stead. There is naught but desert out there. What could Urianger wish to investigate? He's a little dense. Go on and assist Urianger with his mysterious task. We shall wait for you. Woo! Oh, I went the wrong way around this water hole there. It appears. Other one. He looks a little gross. The Wellspring of Regret, huh? Just vibing. A spring, and a sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amidst the dunes. Aye, this place shall serve. It is the spring that you wish to investigate? Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? No. Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible?
Metian has taken their hearts unto herself. Metian has made contact with them while they still lived. I think I like the first one better.
I'm inclined to agree. If Metian can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still lived, the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Metian perceived the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an Enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire, even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Metian did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ea unto their doom.
But she thought it was a mercy.
Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. Ah, if you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse?
So this is him saying he's basically going to sacrifice himself here.
'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. Let us be off too. To Elegia. This is probably going to be the closest we'll be over to this spot. So we might as well hit it up. Oh. Level cheater. There it is. $812 yalms to the east. Okay, so that's... Alright, we're going to teleport back now. Ultima Thule. The abode of the Ea. Don't mind me. Come, let us hear the Ea's tale and learn what caused such enlightened beings to crave nihility. While we waited, we mentioned our star's situation to the Ea. They nodded sagely, or something to that effect. I understand you've taken care of business. If you are ready to begin, then so are we. Oh, you are here already. Your comrade said you would be late. It would seem your star too has been plunged into a panic-induced cataclysm. We hope that our tale will not serve to exacerbate it. Your companion in front, the one called Y'shtola, she seems the keenest to learn the truth. I pity her. We have prepared for our recounting. To facilitate comprehension, the information will be simplified to match your primitive minds. Thank you for that. It seems everyone is accounted for, shall we then? We shall. This will probably be voiced, so we'll actually see what their voices are.
Please, continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not.
Boo! We're smart, come on.
We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb III.
Deneb III.
As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
Well, thank you for that. Why does Deneb sound familiar? I don't know why.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand, having remained entirely in the bounds of your star. The phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp, but this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort.
Ba-dum-cha.
Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it.
I mean, there always is, isn't there, Y'shtola?
Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friend's emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Never have I felt such emptiness. It's as if a part of me is gone. I'm fine, Callista. Like I said, our quest doesn't end here. Victory... and lost? Graha Tia regards his comrades in solemn silence. Are you all ready to continue on? Then let us make for where that light shone. Y'shtola and Urianger have opened the way for us. Ether current quests. Thinking AR. Ending as one. The thinking Aya is quite visibly ruminating. How fortunate that you are here, corporeal being, for we are in need of your assistance. I am sure you saw some of my kind drifting about the untamed wild just over there. As I understand, they are binding their spirits together as one in hopes of diluting their consciousnesses and thereby erasing their sorrows. Unfortunately, the resulting amalgam doubtless longs for more minds to incorporate, and if other Aya approach it, we may be drawn into the growing mass against our will. Your corporeal form seems to outweigh your mental capacity, so you should be safe, however. Please destroy the collective consciousness before it kills us all. Your ready acceptance gladdens me. I believe that if you lay waste to 2 wandering souls, the amalgam will appear. Do be aware that while your mind is safe, it may present other dangers should it realize what you are attempting. Can't make our way through there. No, no! A most stimulating discussion. No nuke appears to be staring right through you. Pardon me, traveler, I lack the sense of time as perceived by those of finite lifespans. But might you be able to spare a moment to speak with some of my fellow Aya? It is rare to find one so unmarred by the scars of deepest wisdom. Your appearance and perceptions as an outsider differ so much from our own that I wonder if a degree of interaction might prove stimulating for both parties. Much obliged. I shall mark their location on your map. They tend to spend considerable time frequenting their usual haunts. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Now he's got to hunt these other ones down fast here. Meditating AI here. What a curious being you are. Have my peers discovered how to regain their corporeal forms while I remained lost in thought? No, of course not. Come to think of it, I wonder if we ever possessed the peculiar form that you now do. Oh dear, I fear this always happens when I delve too deep into such ruminations. The very moment I attempt to regain clarity, it triggers this most unpleasant reaction. And my fellow Ea have not found a way for us to reacquire our corporeality. Perhaps it falls to me to meditate further upon the matter. In any event, pray leave me to my cogitations. Laid back, yeah. This one's just chilling. Just hanging out. How curious. An unfamiliar corporeal life form calls out to me, as I wait in vain for the inevitable coming of the end. This is indeed the chance of a lifetime, mayhap of many lifetimes. And so I pose to you this question. Tell me, traveler, what is the true nature of life and the universe? 42? You gotta say it. You gotta say it. Why, precisely. That is the very conclusion I arrived at myself. How heartening and surprising, I dare say, to meet one as enlightened as myself. Yes, that's awesome. Douglas Adams. That's a weird dead tree. Inquisitive Ea. Oh, you must be that traverser from beyond who has been causing quite the stir around our abode. What a stroke of luck. In fact, I had been hoping I might have the opportunity to exchange thoughts with you and your companions. For you see, I have for too long whiled away my days in listless banality, drifting waywardly as my mental faculties dulled and slowed. I so longed to strike up a stimulating conversation with the traveler, yet for so long none would pay me visit. That said, I never imagined you would have such a strange physical form. Pray tell, how do you keep your balance? What keeps your innards from spilling out through one of your multiple orifices in your body? Oh, but pardon me, truly I meant no offense. Clearly life in your world found this shape to be suitable, perhaps even necessary for your survival. Perhaps our own original form was equally horrifying. I don't know if teleporting would be as fast as just jumping on the mountain and heading straight to him, but... I see you made quick work of the amalgam. Of course, it is well within each Ea's rights to choose when they wish to end their own existence. But to force others to join them, however accidentally, is another matter. This whole ordeal has led me to contemplate how I should meet my own demise. Ah, but forgive me. I forgot such matters are not left to choice for your kind. Truthfully, I envy you. To go forth each day full of vigor, not knowing when your lives will be unexpectedly snuffed out. It must feel incredible. My apologies if I have made you uncomfortable. I am unused to speaking with mortals. Be assured that I appreciate your help, and you have given me much to think about regarding death, or perhaps life. Did you encounter my acquaintances? I can only hope that they derived the same sense of stimulation from conversing with you as I myself did. For if so, we may yet discover a means to attain the moratorium known as death. Until that time, should you ever be in the mood for a discussion on the profound and inevitable meaninglessness of the universe, we will be here waiting. Yes, always waiting. Alright. Now, off we go. Hey! Mount Twins! Ooh, we got some, Luminions that are spiders instead of the standing guys with swords. Interesting. Northeast. Let's send the alms to the north. There it is. Just sitting in the middle of this spot here, it looks like. Oh, wow. Fate just popped up while I was sitting here. Down in this thing. Judging by the direction, this should be the place. Some manner of Ea device. If our friends awakened it, then it should be safe to use. Yes, I can feel it. The ether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is a portal, and no mistake. Let us see where it leads. Portal of Wisdom. That makes sense if it's from them.